perfect every single time. These Kenyan scones are incredibly delicious, best served over some chai or coffee, and also you can serve up the scones as a side dish for your dinner. The scones are soft, fluffy, and smell so good, made with a few ingredients, making the recipe very easy. To get started, in a mixing bowl, you are going to add in your dry ingredients. In your bowl, you're going to add in some all-purpose flour, sugar, salt, 10 grams of instant yeast. Using a whisk, you're going to combine all the dry ingredients together. Before adding in your yeast in your dry ingredients, make sure the instant yeast is fresh. You can check by adding a little bit of sugar to a small bowl and adding in a little bit of the instant yeast so that you can check if it's going to bloom. If it's not going to bloom, the yeast is not fresh, so you're not going to get some awesome results. So next, I'm going to be adding in my wet ingredients. So I'm going to start in with a cup of milk. Add in neutral cooking oil and crack in 2 eggs. And if you don't have a hand mixer, you're simply going to use your hands and knead everything together for around 5 minutes until the dough is soft and stretchy. And because I'm going to be using a hand mixer, it's going to be very easy for me to knead the dough until soft and elastic. I'm going to use my cake scraper and scrape my bowl. This is to make sure all the ingredients are getting fully combined. And then I'm going to knead for another 1 to 2 minutes, making the time around 5 to 6 minutes. I'm going to add in a little bit of oil and go in with my hands. You can see how stretchy the dough is looking like. After around 5 minutes, this is how the dough is looking like, and as you can see, it's very stretchy. So I'm going to add in a teaspoon of cooking oil. This is to prevent the dough from drying out when resting the dough. So we are going to be resting the dough for around 1 hour until it has doubled up in size, and then we're going to proceed to the next step. This is how the dough is looking like after 1 hour, and it has doubled up in size. So you're going to punch in the middle so that you can remove the excess air pockets in the dough. Next, I'm going to sprinkle in some all-purpose flour on my working surface and transfer the dough. Place aside, and then I'm going to knead the dough for around a minute on my countertop. After around a minute of kneading the dough, I'm going to be dividing the dough into little balls, which are going to be 75 grams each, so that I can have the same size scones. I'm going to be using a kitchen scale over here to weigh out my dough. So I'm going to put the kitchen scale on into grams. Place a parchment paper, cut out my dough and weigh. That is 90. That is exactly 75, and finish up weighing the rest of the dough. Now that I have even sized scones, I'm going to make sure my ends are floured and stack the bottom part of the scones just like that. Try and shape the dough into a round shape. Once I have a very nice round shape just like this, I'm going to transfer the pieces of dough in my baking tin, which is 9-inch, and I've already spread my baking tin, so I'm going to place the scones on the inside carefully, and then I'm going to repeat until the rest of the dough is shaped into a very nice and smooth round shape. Once you're done rolling out the dough and placing the little pieces of dough in the baking tin, you're going to cover for around 20 minutes until the dough has doubled up in size again. As you wait for the dough to double up in size, you're going to preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 10 minutes. I'm going to be spreading some egg wash on my scones before placing in the oven to bake. So the egg is going to help us have that nice golden brown color on top. And even not a fan of eggs, you can spread some melted butter on the scones so that you can achieve that nice golden brown color. So to my small bowl, I'm going to crack in an egg, whisk in the egg using a fork. Check on my dough and this is how it's looking. You'll notice that it has doubled up in size again. So now I'm going to use a kitchen brush and spread the egg wash on the scones just like that. There goes my timer. So it's time to bake my scones, and I'm also done spreading the egg wash on the scones. And I'm going to be baking the scones or dinner rolls for around 25 to 30 minutes until the tops are golden brown and the inside is soft and fluffy. Place on a cooling rack. I love how the scones have turned out. They're looking super good and perfect. I love the golden brown color on top, and also they're very glossy on top because we used egg wash. So I'm going to wait for the scones to cool for around 5 minutes before removing from the tin. Yeah, and it's totally going to be delicious. I can't wait to try out one. After inverting the scones from my tin, this is how the scones are looking like, and I love everything about my scones. They are perfect, and I'm ready to have my scones with some chai because it's almost 4 o'clock. So I hope you'll be trying out this recipe, and also I hope that you'll enjoy each and every bite because the scones are totally amazing.